Hey there, welcome to What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here at your service with the thoughts around the idiom, the simile, like a bump in a log. Mark Twain coined this phrase in 1863. He's, of course, the author of Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, and it referred to a fixed or motionless person, somebody that is inactive or not responding. They're just like a bump on a log. What does a bump on a log do? It just sits there. It's just sit there fixed, and it doesn't move. It doesn't do anything. And so I talked about this on the Supersize Your Business page today, as well as my personal profile, sharing, different aspects of this idiom and this simile and how you can apply it to your life or to your business. And of course, fixed versus open-mindedness, mindset comes into play. Problem-solving, decision-making comes into play, because are you being externally, internally, making decisions long-term versus short-term, and then are you being stimulated by things that are outside of you and reacting, or are you internally driving and going toward your vision of what you want for your life or for your business? And it always reminds me of negotiations. Negotiations are either fixed or win-win versus immobile and inactive. I'm going to come in and I'm not really going to participate in these negotiations. I'm going to show up, but this is our position and we're not going to waver from it no matter what. I've been involved in negotiations like that. Not very fun. And they take a long time. They usually end up with one side feeling bad and the other side maybe feeling like they won. So if somebody feels like they won and somebody feels like they lost, to me that never felt like a good, successful negotiation. Have you ever been involved in something like that where you go into a negotiation, like say you're going to buy a property, we negotiate all the time, right? We negotiate in all of our relationships, we negotiate in our businesses, our personal lives, everything is a negotiation. If you're married or in a relationship with another human being, it is a constant negotiation of give and take, who's going to do what, and sometimes they work out really well, sometimes they don't. I was in a relationship with my ex-husband where everything was a negotiation, but he always had to win, which meant I had to lose. He didn't believe in win-win, and that everybody could win in that type of a situation. And I found that whenever I am personally being a bump on a log, and I will admit here openly that I've been a bump on a log more often during this COVID pandemic than I have been in years. I, like everybody else, when I want to procrastinate, when I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, when I'm in information overload or overwhelm, if I'm in a learning loop, if I am looking for perfectionism, which I seldom ever do. I know that I'm far, far from perfect and never would want to be, but I'm always trying to continually improve, right? How about you? Do you suffer from any of these things? When I find myself making excuses or feeling like a victim of something or blaming anybody else for anything, that all stems from my fear, right? It's if I'm afraid of something, then all these other things can creep in and come up, and I will tend to hone in and be like a bump on a log. I just will be inactive, and I really won't let myself stay there very long. I don't know about you. How long do you stay there when you're feeling any of those feelings, excuses, victim, blame, anything? I will feel them because we all are human. We all get those feelings, but as soon as I catch myself doing it, which sometimes is longer than other times, sometimes it's 4 or 5 episodes into a Netflix series or a Hulu series before I realize, hey, I'm just sitting here on the couch not doing anything. I'm being a bump on a log. Why am I doing that? Well, it's usually because I'm afraid to do something, or I don't want to do it, or I'm afraid of what's going to happen, or I don't know what's going to happen. Therefore, if I don't know what's going to happen, uncertainty creates fear. Fear creates inaction, at least in me. And I just remind myself, hey, and I look at the other side of that. Well, what will happen if I don't take action? What will happen if I don't do that? And that usually gives me a little bit of courage, and then I'll take a little action, and then I'll build on that. But we've all been, and we all are, being human, bumps on a log sometimes. So I love this expression. I used to like to go sit in the woods on a bump in a log, actually in the logs in the woods, and just write or draw or just hang out and think when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. That was always, something I did. I like to explore the woods. I've always loved nature. Nature's like a recharger for me. So when I'm being a bump on a log, usually I just go outside, and that will get me over whatever it is that I'm procrastinating about or feeling overwhelmed about or afraid of or frustrated by. So today, Get Up and Go Day 7, I have a confession to make. I did not do the Q&A yesterday for the Get Up and Go challenge. I will sneak that in today or tomorrow sometime. I might do it live tomorrow instead of doing it today so I get everybody's questions answered. But my fingernails were a victim of COVID-19. They were a casualty of COVID-19, and I had to go get them dealt with. And lucky for me, a salon in my hometown has opened up. Only one, and it was busy as heck, but I was going for a walk anyway, so I thought, well, I called, but they didn't call me back, so I'm going to walk by and see if I can get in. And I got in. I've got a new nail guy who will, in 6 months, my nails should be back to normal, but this is the shortest my nails have been in at least a decade. So it's really weird to get used to, and they're just my nails, so they're super thin and super weak, and I'm super scared, but they'll be fine. They'll get healthy again, just like all of us will get healthy again, and we'll all get back to creating the lives that we want, because that's what we were doing anyway, right, before COVID-19. Fun challenge today was actually create a holiday, create your own holiday, or make up your own holidays, which was really fun, because the government's can make up holidays. Why can't we? Why can't we decide I'm going to have a ducks in a row day? And my granddaughter wants me to have a ducks in a row day, so maybe we'll have a get all your ducks in a row day coming up here very, very soon, before we get released from all the pandemic. My state of Wisconsin is opening things up. I know in my hometown of Hudson, the city council got together and has put out guidelines and things, so things are opening up in certain ways. Some people are doing a really good job of it, others not so much, but that's how everybody does business, right? Some people do business in life in a really good way that positively impacts the world, and other people not so much. They kind of just do their own thing and do whatever they want, because they don't really care about other people, or care about their customers, or care about their employees. And so there's always that spectrum of behavior, whether there's a pandemic or not. We just are seeing it more in our faces during such a massive time of change. And I always tell my kids, I always tell the people I interact with, people show you exactly who they are. We just have to be willing to see it. People I've had bad situations with or interactions with, I think ex-husband, ex-partners, the things where those haven't worked out well, it's because I didn't want to see what was right, should have been right in front of my face, but I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see the signs of inappropriate behavior and misdeeds, because I never even think that way. I never even thought that way, so how would I expect to look for that in other people? And I don't look for that in other people, and so I'm learning over the years that everybody doesn't think like me. Oh my God, light bulb moment. You mean everybody doesn't think like I do? Of course they don't. And so we have to remember that we filter things in and out based on our own beliefs and our own experiences and what we're willing to see. And sometimes that works in our favor. If you're a good person and a kind person, it usually works in your favor. But it also, there's evil, and there's people that want to take advantage of that. So sometimes we get burned, and that just reminds us to listen to our gut and our intuition more, not less. So Get Up and Go Challenge, day 7 today. And I think I'm just going to share some stories and some other people's experience with what they're doing now to get up and go. I actually think I'm going to do some podcast interviews and podcast episodes about that. I'm going to put out a message today to invite some people to do an interview with me, to just share what are they doing, what have they done during this pandemic to move forward, right? Even if their business is shut down. I want to get a variety of people, some whose businesses have been immediately shut down. What did they do during this time? What are they doing during this time? People that have been at, partial operating, what are they doing at this time? And then some people that are just smoking it because there's so much going on in their business. There's such a high demand. And there's all different businesses, all different industries where there's that situation in almost every industry where you'll see similar behavior of those 3 categories in almost every industry around. Some people are continuing to do things even though their business has been shut down. They've said, okay, well, I can't do this, but what can I do? And they've found crazy, amazing things to do to serve people. In other industries have been just exploding because of the high increased demand for their products and services to help all of us that are at home. So Get Up and Go. I also already announced that I will be doing another Get Up and Go challenge, and I do not have my calendar here, but I think it's the 25th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. The 25th of March, I'm going to do another short version like I'm in right now of the Get Up and Go challenge, and then swing everybody into the, I think I'm going to do the year-long coaching program for people, so I can really make sure that the people that join us get everything that they need to really take their business to the next level. Not just a little bit of what they need, but absolutely everything customized to what they need to ensure that they can get the success that they want. because sometimes we just need a guide to take us through that. I so wish I would have known in many of my businesses, but it was before the internet and before a lot of things were available, that I could go out and I could find people that would help me and coach me and take me through things and help me go faster in my different businesses. The Italian food business, pretty much on my own to do all that and learn all that from scratch and figure it out as we went along the way. And it was really, really successful, but I think how successful might it have been had I had a coach that could take me through that? How had I had, somebody in the food manufacturing industry that could help me jump through the hoops and get through the ropes a lot faster than having to figure it all out on our own? I'm sure it would have been a lot less stressful, that's for sure. So I want to make sure that I'm available to provide that for people and they don't have to figure it out on their own. Because I have, for decades, had this, I got to figure this out. I got to figure it out. And I always believed there was a way, but I also know that it took me a lot longer to figure things out by trial and error than if someone had said, hey, just start from where I am. This is what you do, boom, and then continue to improve from there. It would have been a lot faster and a lot less stressful task and undertaking than it was. But I obviously needed that journey and needed those lessons. So that's it. That is all I've got for today. I am going to go make what challenge am I in? Just finishing up. I think today might be my last book for the Read Book 30 Books in 30 Days. And again, Legally Blind, been an interesting challenge. Did sign up for several audio book type processes and systems to get through books, but again, even if you're listening to them double fast, they read you every word, so that doesn't really work for me in the style that I learned to consume books in during this challenge, which is really, really powerful, by the way. I highly recommend it. And I'm also going to quickly shoot a video for the Starting Over challenge that Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins and the gang at KBB are doing. I actually was in their beta group a while ago, and so I love the stuff they're doing. And Tony Robbins, I've been a Tony Robbins fan since he started in the late 70s, which is aging me, but I discovered him when I was in the hospital in Valley, Nebraska on a late night infomercial, I believe it was, in probably 1980, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but it was like in the very beginning, one of the first things he'd done. I think I bought one of his tape programs off of that. And so that was the beginning of my personal development and learning journey, and it's been a long time coming, and sometimes I was too busy in my life to actually be working on it, and other times I was working on it on the side, me growing as a person and honing my skills and getting better. And then there were huge times where that was a primary focus for me through several years, following big life events, right? So that's it. If I can help you in any way, please ask in the comments below. Don't be like I was and never ask for help. Ask for help, and I might not know the answer to the question, but I guarantee I can find somebody that can help you and that does know the answer to whatever your question is. I can't think of a question that anyone's asked me yet, unless it was an inappropriate question. And by inappropriate, I mean lewd, crude, or really just a being a jerk question. And I don't normally attract those kind of people, at least not anymore, because I got no time for it. I have no time for it and no energy that goes toward that. So usually I don't get weird questions like that. But I did early on. Early on got some like weird questions and weird comments. I'm like, can't help you with that. Good luck. Because, people aren't coming from a point of they really want help. They're just trying to be destructive, and I have no time for that either. Anyway, have a great day, and I will be with you tomorrow and let you know what I'm up to as I'm transitioning from the brick and mortar business to the online world. Today I'm working on a funnel for Get Up and Go Challenge. And what else am I doing? I'm updating some social media because I'm in an accountability group that I do what I do for people. I'm also in those. I'm doing an accountability branding group, and we've got 3 personal and 3 professional things that we're doing every week and accountable to. And we have a meeting Tuesday morning, and I've written my list of the things I need to do, but I've only ticked off a couple of them with respect to one of those things that I need to hop on. I think all the personal ones I've done, and 2 of the professional ones, but I've got one more that I want to get ticked off, so I'm really moving forward in that. If you're going to have an accountability coach, you got to listen to them, right? And if you commit to doing something, if you say you're going to do it, you can make excuses to them and they might buy it, but to yourself, you always know whether you did it or not. So those are some things I need to knock off and do. Have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.